Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Tidy Tuesday on Friday with Light. Let's poke the discords and let everyone know everything's going on. Okay. So, everything has been successfully pinged. Now, we get to play with some data. Been rather busy, so I didn't get to listen to or watch Jessie playing with this too much. Just noticed that she was doing a little bit with some maps. And we're probably going to do the same thing, because here we are with some information about nurses. And it's by state in the US and also by year. And then you've got some little bits of interesting information about hourly wage and annual salaries. A little bit of standard error, so you know how much we're not certain about. Total number. So this one would be interesting if we had the population of each state. So we might actually want to look for that as well. Because I already did just a tiny bit of legwork to make sure we could actually load the data this time, because last time it was a little annoying because the TidyTuesday package wouldn't actually load the data. This time, it totally works. Not a problem. I also did a little bit of extra legwork, just grabbing the median income by state over the past quite a long while. And so if we look at the years, this is between 98 and 2020. And I believe this income by state goes back to 85. I think that's how far it goes back. Okay, so what we need is the median income. So let's grab our CSV. Now, the trouble with this information in particular, for one, it's got a comma in it, so it might not actually treat any of these as numbers. So we are likely to need a way of converting that, but that shouldn't be a huge problem. The other is that the columns are the years. Oh, why is there an extra 2017? Yeah, I know I'm doing some stuff off screen. Okay, so it is delimited. My data does have headers. Comma separated. Go. There are two 2017s, but they're slightly different. Let's double check that we don't have any other duplicated columns. 987654321 0987654321 098765 back to 84. So we save that, close, and reload. Okay, so we've got columns for the years, and that's going to be a bit of a problem when we try to pass that on into anything else. So let's try to melt it. Could not find function melt. I think it's reshape2 that melts things. Hey there, Mac. I don't know if we've loaded, if we've installed reshape2. Apparently we have. Oh, right. It doesn't know how to melt that because I didn't tell it which stays and which goes. Yep, supper's a good thing. So let's get the columns. Could not. Okay, I work with too many languages. How do we... I just want the column names. Call names. Okay. There we go. Okay. So there's that. And then value name equals population. Hey there, Daniel. Nurses indeed. We are working on making it nice, but we're starting off with some median income information because knowing how much they make outside of the context doesn't necessarily help all that much. Okay, so weird header names. Should work? No. Could not find that because of this. Yeah, very good for merging if you got random other things to merge. Okay, state year, population 3. Okay, then we're gonna need to strip that X out. I'm not sure how that... Oh, because, right, it doesn't like starting variable names with a number. Reader parse number. That will be good. Actually, that'll... Will it drop the X? Why not just try? So here equals reader parse number of here. Get rid of the call names and break. Oh no, I borked it. Always match your parentheses, kids. Object year not found. Well, that's fine. For now, let's just save it into good old variable and then try to do it one at a time, just to be sure. Oh no, is character is not true. How does it start? Oh, because it's a factor. Ah, good old regex. So that begs the question to anyone in chat, when they see that word, do they pronounce it regex or regex? Okay, that's good. Reg is in regular. So are you a source word purist? Because that's one of the appeals that people make when... Oh, right, it didn't recognize year. I know it's not a great idea, but I'm thinking I might do it this way. And then we'll figure out how to do it the pipe way. You're not sure you're personally consistent? Yeah, I am more of a... How would it be pronounced if there was no original source? Probably shouldn't do all of that in a line like that. That's how I usually remember where it came from. Yeah, so the common internet debate is with GIF, whether you pronounce it GIF or GIF. And so you've got the source word purists, you've got the who made the word, like who made the abbreviation purists, and then you've got the appeal to language folk, like me. who are like, if this were a word in my language, how would I pronounce it? Yeah, so there are a lot of people who are like, if we know who made the word and we know how they pronounce it, just take their word for it. And so the person who invented the graphics interchange format pronounces it GIF. And so they are clearly not a source word purist themselves. And most likely appealed to how they think their language would pronounce it. I just disagree. I personally use the German type pronunciation where it would be GIF, like a gift. Good old lasso. Okay, so if we do this and then take a look, we have a thing that has numbers. Huzzah! You always say lasso like a normal English cowboy lasso. Yeah, understandably, it's a perfectly reasonable thing to say. Okay, so if we were going to try to pipe this through, it didn't seem to want to pass year as an object into the reader parse. Let's try it again just to see. We forgot the pipe. Bam. Pardon. Expected comma. Oh, we need yet another. There we go. Oh, this time it's fine with it. I don't know what its problem was before. Actually, we don't need to repipe. We can just mutate a second time. Yeah. It yelled at me before, but probably about something else. Okay, so we've got ourselves... yeah, that's not the right thing. Median income. We're not doing population. That would be silly. These are unadjusted median incomes. They are not, hey, how much was it in 2020 bucks? It's actual back then times money as well, because that's what I would expect from this nurse data. But if we see in the past that their numbers are too high, then we'll look into it being something else. So now that we've got these, we can have a nice 2-column key for joining in the nurse data. Because over here in the nurse data, we've got state and we've got year. And then theoretically, we should be able to just base merge it like so. to grab the median income right on the side. And so what we're interested in is the state, year, annual salary median, probably. And then median income. Wow, look at that. Looks like the nurses' income are outpacing inflation in California. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see in a minute. I don't like having spaces in my column names. I don't know if this will work. I've never tried. Let's give it a shot. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Whereas here in Alabama, back then at least, more or less the same. Although, I mean, 10% over, it's pretty good here. It's just not so great the previous year. But now we've got our data in a nice, reasonable format for comparing those two things. So drop that in a variable. That's too far over. Let's just leave it as it is. Now we need to figure out how to make a map. I know basically what goes into it, but I'm going to look it up again just because. So ggplot2 has the map data function. And so if we load ourselves ggplot2, we should be able to make good old ggplot with data equal map data of state or states. State not found. State's not found. Okay, now we didn't give it anything to actually plot, so geom, is it polygon? Oh no. Okay, fine, we'll actually look at the description of how it works. Okay, map data. So that's that, but let's use this. Use all of this to see whether or not it'll just work. Object law not found. Fine, we'll go to a different one that actually does. Yeah, those are cool and all. But not specifically the ones I want. Come on. Load. Yeah, for me, it pretty much is doing it from scratch. Okay, so I was right with map data state. Map data state. But the aesthetics are not found. So let's just see what this gives us. Long. Can't believe you. Can't believe it, R. Long. Lat group. What a world. Okay. And then, if we want additional aesthetics, we need to merge our information onto this map data. That merge is taking too long. Oh, because it has to merge all of them, all those rows. Stop. Please stop. We don't want all the years. Okay, so now okay. So now we put in here nurse.pay, and it should give us the same map, just more slowly. Brilliant. Now the fill equals median income divided by no. Annual salary median over all of that. What? Oh, right. I overwrote it with my polygon. Oh, we got a nice thunderstorm going on out there. Hey, look at that. Everybody is pretty much identical. So that's interesting. So if we copy this, paste it there, and just put the annual salary, now we should see a lot of difference. Or we did something wrong. Um. So it looks like there might be some outliers, or we did something wrong. Safe bet is we did something wrong. So let's add labels. What happened to the non-contiguous US? I'm gonna work on getting functional data before we get all data. Most likely, it's zoomed in on just the contiguous US for the sake of. Oh, wait, now it's gonna have like dozens of. Because of the way it's doing it, it's gonna have dozens of the median incomes. Supposing it works at all. I may have borked it. Because the trouble with this method of adding labels is that this is using a different map type. The type of map that we have has a line for all of the shape information. And that's just too many rows to add the text on it like that. So we might want to use a different type of map, but then we're going to have to download the shape data. Which is probably fine. I mean, this is probably too much. Okay. Yeah, look at the shenanigans. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay, so now let's go back and look into doing it with shapefiles. which we probably have access to in R regardless. So what's going on is that if we look at the nurse pay file, like the table, there are a lot of rows for each Alabama because the shape of Alabama is now part of our table. If we look just at the map data, every state has a lot of rows because that's how it knows what shape to make it. And when we merge this onto our data, it adds this geographic, like the shape information, to each row of our data. It's not a great way of going about it. And so I need to figure out how to load shape files. R load shape file. So SF package is what I kind of expected. Read CIF. This doesn't seem like it's going to be that much better. But we'll try. There is no CIF. And I know I don't have pack. I'm just going to install it like a pleb. Pack, 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 pack. Pack, 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 pack. Yeah, so if the stream goes down, blame nature. Okay, well that does that. So it might be better to load the data separately and see whether or not it will label it that way. But like this seems like it should just work. Yeah, so like here they had to put in the locations manually, and you can overlay it, which is fine. But like for these labels, I mean it seems like it should work okay doing it the way I want to do it. Still running. And then projections can be fun, but that's problem for once it's actually working right. It just strikes me as odd that using this method wouldn't let me put the labels on it such that I could see the values for the states. Welcome back, Mac. We're currently installing the SF package to see whether or not the simple features lets us add labels better than the polygon method we were using. Still compiling. Let's check on these. See if any of these have anything additional to say. Ah. That's the way to go. Is having a separate data set. And it puts the labels at the centroid of the country. And so, like, the label of Poland is so far south because the top border is simpler than the southern border. That's interesting. Okay, so that might be the way to go. And then it was just to summarize. Okay. Geocomper, huh? Okay, so now that we've got the label locations, excuse me? Is that not the name of it? Oh, and they're lowercase! You monster! So they are region. And then And it's borked. So let's grab this out of it. See what we get from this. We've got state, label long, label lat. And we got state. Why no merge? No rows. Oh, right. I forgot to do the capitalization. What package is this from? Stringer. Perfect. Except now it's got region. I don't know if there's a better way to do this, but here we are. There we go. So then we'd come here. Label equals whatever, data equals whatever. Wait, why doesn't it? Oh, because the overall aesthetics use long and lat. And so if we keep them as long and lat here, it'll maintain that relationship. Okay. Median income not found. How's median income? Oh, because it's not here. Okay, fine. It's gotten annoying enough that we can just leave it like that. But this is no bueno. No, it should have it. Nurse pay labels should have median income because we're merging DF onto it. But DF is the nurse info, not the me info. So we should actually merge nurse pay, except the nurse pay is merged with the state data. So we should probably have an intermediate prior to that. Whatever. I want it to work, then we'll make it pretty. Okay, so let's get rid of this line for now. Make sure we didn't break the map. Okay, so that didn't break the map, so maybe we need that might not work. Yeah, group is not included. But I don't see why it would be necessary for this. Oh, okay. So we need to not set it as a global thing. We set it in the aesthetics of polygons because polygons are the only ones that need it. And we should probably, yeah, we should put the fill there as well. Okay. We also need to filter the labels by the year. So we should probably do an intermediate data frame for just the filtered income. Because it was all of the years written on there. Is it H just? I think it's H just. Because it's placing it at the point, but it's not centering it. Oh, right. H just is a integer between 0 and 1. Yeah, so mean is not a good one for that. Maybe median will work better. Even then, oh, it's even worse. Ooh. Is there a mid? Like it's... There's no mid. Oh, my box. It is dead because my laptop. I forgot to plug it in. Okay, so I can still see you on OBS. It's just my bot is dead. Long live the bot. Okay, so it's better in a lot of cases, but in the cases of weirdly shaped states like Idaho, the number is not in a good place. That still doesn't explain the problem with the color. Because none of the fill is showing up the way it's supposed to. So let's try this just to make sure it colors things in properly. It doesn't. Everything's the color of Alabama. Ah. We need a scale for the fill. Still didn't work. So let's Go back to that, and we'll use the scale that they suggest here. And then we'll load whatever package gives us Viridis. Probably already have Viridis. Oh, maybe not. Liary. Yeah, you shouldn't need an explicit scale. But when the obvious doesn't work, you do something weird. Okay, so it doesn't look as though this should be a problem. But it's a problem. And so we believe in the ggplot. We believe the ggplot is well written and a good thing, and thus it is clearly our fault. And so what we do is we make a copy of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in here that and do this. Oh no, state not found. Because it's called region. Let's get rid of the text. Okay. Now if we add... Wait, where's my plus? Okay, so then if we add text... this to grab state labels. Region not found. State. Now everything is lovely. They're all the colors they're supposed to be. They've all got the labels they're supposed to have. Thus, if this one is a problem, it's because nurse pay is a problem. Most likely, one of our merges did not merge the way it was supposed to. Because we've got region and state, which is no bueno. So if we come up here, yeah, you can't merge on this because this has the wrong thing. Oh no, group not found. Right, because I got rid of that here. Not there. Here. You know what? What we're going to do is we're going to mutate after we rename state equals region. Then we mutate it. Oh no, we borked it. No, that's not the problem. We need extra, not one less. Region not found. Right, because we renamed it. California's a little bit borked. So the question becomes, how did I bork this layout? And it might be in doing this work. So let's not rename it. Let's just have state be region. And leave region intact. Did not unbork it. Oh, perhaps we need to merge it the other way around? Yeah, we might need to merge it the other way around. We might need to start with the map data. Do the mutation. And then merge in the filtered income, such that everything stays in the right order. Let's clear these out and make sure that we are plotting what we're plotting. Nope, still borked. That's really strange. Let's do a left merge. Maybe that's what we needed. Nope. This is really quite odd. What if instead we did this. Still the same kind of bork. Okay, let's make sure the normal state one still works. Normal state one still works. So it really looks like somehow the order of some things is getting messed up when we're merging these together. So let's take another look at this information, and maybe we just need to arrange it by group and order. Let's okay, got that back in. Come back up here. There we go. That was a mess. Okay, now, in addition to all of that, we want a new column called, what do we call this? Where it's their personal income divided by the median income of the state. Relative income equals annual salary median divided by median income. And then we draw this, not with median income, but with relative income. What? Oh, right, we didn't get the relative income on these labels. What? Oh, that's here. Oh no, now they're giant ugly numbers. Okay. So now we got those numbers that we don't even really need. Let's get rid of the text. Let's pipe nurse pay into the ggplot. Such that we can pipe the nurse pay into a filter such that we can remove the filter up here. Such that if we want to change this to 2008, we can see how it changed. Year 2000. Brilliant. Wait, it's not axis text, it's axis title. But I don't remember how to get rid of it. I have looked at this before. Oh, right, element blank. Okay. Okay, so that is nice and lovely. Title should just be title. Ooh, GG title. Excuse me? Can you not? Oh, right, because there might be more than one title, or more than one year in what was passed in. We'll think about how to do that later. For now, I kind of want to look into GG Animate. Because, I mean, it seems perfectly reasonable to walk through the years and see how that changed. Okay, so we just toss in GG Animate, which may or may not be installed. Oh no, it's not installed. Five, four, three, two, one. Hey, look, we're done. Perhaps we don't want to animate the scale. But then we would need to know the relative scale across the whole thing. That is a good call. So right before this, we would need... well, could probably do it. No. Don't do it inside. Just figure out what they are. So is that part of guides? Ew, scale fill continuous, put in manual breaks. You know what? I'm going to leave it as it is for now and see what it does. Okay, so this is almost definitely exactly what we need. Nas introduced by coercion. There's definitely something missing. Oh, that'll be good. So what happens when we skip through the important bits? I don't like gifts. Okay, so we might just want to do transition states instead of transition time. But I like the way this, I like the cut of its jib. But it's giving me an error, so I'm going to try using transition states first. My polygons should not be tweening. It's thinking. It's thinking real hard. Oh, right, I'm still filtering it. Stop. Please stop. Low. I need to reset R. Is this our crash for the stream? There we go. Let's try that again. But this time with more than just the 1 year. Well, that's thinking. Let's look at transition length, state length. Okay, so you step by 1 year. We sit there for 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Brilliant. Come on. Don't make me sing a little song. Because I will. Actually, let's check in with chat. How y'all doing? You have a good weekend lined up? Because I've got a gig on Sunday. Nice outdoor gig. Playing some saxophone. So, Mac, what you have for supper? Are you part of the Ribs gang? Ooh, apple cider on Sunday. That sounds nice. I'm also working on dissertation stuff tomorrow. Have to write up a thing on why people don't like imputation. Ooh. Analysis stuff. So I've got a bunch of pings. I didn't realize it was just going to export a bunch of pings. Kind of hoping it would just show it to me. It's kind of the fake data is bad crowd, but in this particular case, it's more of it ends up sweeping some of the uncertainty under the rug, and so the model will claim more certainty than it deserves when making its predictions. Because it's not that they don't like imputation, they don't like how a lot of people in that particular area have used it. And by used, I mean abused. Okay, so I've got a bunch of pings. Did it tell me how to actually turn it into a GIF? Oh, interesting. Because I just got a bunch of pings, so we might need to tell it to do something else using animate. But yeah, you need to know what error your imputation is causing and whisper it down the lane. Oh no, FFmpeg not found. Um, I would have expected FFmpeg to already be on here. But maybe that was 3 computers ago. Because, like, I could just find another program and drop all these pings into it. But come on. R should be doing that for us. Yeah, so it pings each single frame. I'm just concerned that Gifsky didn't animate it into a GIF. It just made a bunch of pings and left them there. For example, single ping. Next ping. And then a ping much later. File render failed to copy frames to the destination directory. Yes, because I didn't delete the old ones. I thought you'd be able to do okay, but clearly I was wrong. Okay. Let's double check on this. Ah, perhaps we need gift ski. Can't GIF without gift ski. I mean, you can, but maybe not in R. I don't know. Never had to do it before. And now we have another lovely conversation while waiting for it to do its job. So yeah, it seems people are having a good mix of work and fun. I don't think I've ever actually made apple cider. Some good stuff, though. Rather tasty. Come on, animate. Animate faster. Let's see. So that would mean that you are level 13. Ooh, I think you're lucky level 13. Because it's 9 and 3 and 1. Yeah. We probably shouldn't try to count what level Mac is at. Okay, so we have once more generated a whole bunch of frames, but we have not successfully generated a GIF. All right, should probably delete the frames. There we go. And I would, once again, like to play a little bit of Skull after this. So once we've got the animation, I will probably call the data part of the stream, take a little break, and then come back with a little more Skull. Because we made some decent progress upgrading the skulls last time. Made maybe a little bit of progress towards defeating some heroes. But it does get that roguelite feeling of, yeah, I probably need to upgrade some things before I'm going to be able to make it. Yeah, the 2D platformers with the little skull guy. Not the best 2D platforming roguelite. You could probably add a couple more adjectives in there even to narrow it down to a smaller field, and it still wouldn't be the best in that field. But it doesn't have to be. Not everything needs to be the best. It's still a charming little game where you play as a little Scully type dude. I just kind of wish the fight, like the second main boss fight, wasn't quite so directly stolen from Hollow Knight. Oh, there it goes. Look at it go. So the only thing I would want to do with it now is to include the part where it actually tells you what year it is. The relative income scale on the side seems fixed. And so we don't even need to worry about it. And so once we figure out how to make the title actually show up properly, like this, we will be good to go. The only concern is, why wasn't it working the first time? So here's this, here's that. Let's get rid of extras. It's by year, big year. Let's do that again, because that was good. And so frame time, transition time, year, let's go. Let's go. Oh, IfSki doesn't save it to a file, so it's just sitting here in the viewer. I would also need to figure out how to tell it how big to be, because it's a little small. But yeah, there were a couple of years where the nurses made a good run of it, and then it smoothed out. But look at Virginia here. You just watch Virginia the whole time. Like, there's only one little blip where they do all right, and then most of the time it's just dark. Same over here in Iowa. There's just a little bit, and then it just goes right back down. But like Virginia, it's fairly strongly, even when everybody else is doing better, they don't outpace the locals. Same up here in New Hampshire. They don't outpace everybody else. Which maybe that just means the state was doing really well. Yeah, it's the nurses didn't make relative gains, but if the state goes up, everything's good. Excusez-moi? What is... What? Huh? Why for you stepwise stupid? That is terrible. So yeah, we're probably going to use this other transition states. And so I just need to find out how to put that state in the title. There we go. Because most likely this transition time might not be exactly what we want. And so we'll try the transition states. See if that does what we want. And I know you're supposed to like tweet out your TidyTuesday exploits. Like I just feel like doing it. Like I like having the practice. I like having the artifacts. I actually got to use a little bit of this recently for my job, of all things. Because typically my job is more about data wrangling and less about analysis. But I had a moment to make a really pretty graph, so I did. A job? Pfft, who needs them? Encoding to GIF. Done! Look at them years fly by. Okay, so that is some really good work for this time. I've never really used GG Animate before, so just having something that moves is pretty darn nice. One thing that I am wondering that we might want to investigate next time is whether or not you can integrate this with patchwork, such that you can make a nice panel of images, one or more of which being animated. It seems like madness. Feels like it should end in utter horrifying disaster. But maybe, just maybe, it would actually work. And so most likely it would keep any of the static images static, and then you could animate it just fine. The trouble is, what if you have two animations that are different lengths? And so, yeah, animate the static plot. Well, the static plot animates by just being static, and that's fine. But if you have two different plots that animate two different things, I wouldn't expect their animation lengths to be identical. And so would one of them go until it finished and then wait for the other, and then they both loop back to the beginning? Because I can't imagine that it'll do a Mayan calendar thing where it waits until they synchronize before going back for a nice seamless loop. Seems like an unreasonable demand. Oh, animation composition, you can! Haha, that's good. Because then we could make something pretty and nicely laid out and has extra fonts to make it feel like a magazine or something. But it's animated, so it's a wizarding magazine or something. Either way, this has been really good progress. We managed to both learn how to make a map and how to animate, all in the same Friday learning, poking around, and making things nice session. potentially next week's data will provide us more opportunities to learn interesting and cool things. But unfortunately, I'm not actually going to be here next Friday. Or the Friday after that. Oof. Yeah, it's going to be a while. So there's a chance that we'll do Tidy Tuesday on Wednesday next week to make up for the lack of Friday. But I make no promises, because Wednesdays are really nice days for not being on the internet. So we'll see how it goes, but I will definitely not be here the next 2 Fridays. And it's not just the Friday. I will not be streaming for the entire week after next Friday. And unfortunately, I will be missing the our streamer Among Us game. So y'all can look forward to those shenanigans. Doing it without the voice chat is an interesting move. I haven't really seen anybody playing it without voice chat, or particularly the proximity voice chat is really interesting, because then you're just running by and you see someone and they're like, "Ah, don't kill me," and then you run away and you have them just fade into the distance. So yeah, I'm gonna call this here. I'm gonna take a break, probably about 5 more minutes, then we'll be back with some Skull the Hero Slayer. And then over the weekend, don't expect any streams. We'll probably be back on Monday. I don't know if it'll be Music Monday, given I would have musicked the night before. Absolute worst case, we'll be back on Tuesday with some Minecraft again. Lovely modded Minecraft. But for now, thank you all for being here for Tidy Tuesday on Friday, and I will see you in 5 minutes.